And ahead of the meeting with Ukrainian President Zelenskyy, Donald Trump's big remark. Trump posts, and I quote, Ukrainian President Zelenskyy can end the war with Russia almost immediately if he wants to, or he can continue to fight. Remember how it started. No getting back. Obama given Crimea 12 years ago without a shot being fired, and no going into NATO by Ukraine. Some things can never change. This is the remark made by US President Donald Trump just ahead of the meeting with Zelenskyy, where he has said that the Ukrainian president can end the war with Russia almost immediately if he wants to, or he can continue to fight. Remember how it started. No getting back. Obama given Crimea 12 years ago without a shot being fired, and no going into NATO by Ukraine. Some things never change. That's the remark which is being made by Donald Trump just ahead of the meeting. Daniel continues to stay with us. Daniel, how do you see this remark by Donald Trump just ahead of the meeting with Zelenskyy?
Well, I think it shows a pretty profound ignorance about the facts on the ground in Eastern Europe and in Ukraine. I mean, I suppose it is literally true that if Zelenskyy and the Ukrainians decided to stop fighting and allowed themselves to become either de facto or de jure part of Russia, they could put a stop to the fighting. But the reality is, if Russia stops fighting, Russia will continue to exist. It's not going to collapse. It will not lose its sovereignty in any way. If Ukraine stops fighting, as Trump is seemingly suggesting they should do, Ukraine would in some way cease to exist. I mean, he seems to think that he is uniquely positioned. When I say he here, I mean Trump, to bring peace to the world. And he doesn't have the leverage, obviously, to make Russia stop fighting. And he's been persuaded by whatever Putin has sold him. And so I think he thinks he has the leverage to stop Ukraine from fighting and to just kind of give in to Russia's demands. But Ukraine isn't going to do that. Ukrainians have been fighting very hard for their sovereignty. They have a very strong sense of nationalism, a strong sense of independence. And so they're not willing to just kind of lay down and roll over.
Daniel, also the big remark that has been made by Donald Trump is there's no going into NATO by Ukraine. So do you see Ukraine being flexible in its stand on being a part of the NATO? We've seen Ukraine demanding that it will be a part of NATO, and now Donald Trump has said that there's no going into NATO by Ukraine. Do you think Ukraine will change its stand just to secure peace?
My sense is that privately, the Ukrainian elite, Ukrainian government officials are more flexible on the NATO position than they are publicly. In order to save face and I think maintain a strong negotiating position, they have to say that they're not willing to give up on their aspirations of joining NATO.